Hello, I'm Crystal D, reporting for MCM Buzz, and I'm here at Birmingham Expo and Birmingham Memorabilia. I'm joined here by Terry Malloy, and he is best known for his role as Davros in the hit sci-fi series Doctor Who. So, Terry, how are you enjoying Birmingham Memorabilia so far?
It's excellent. Had a really good day. It's been thoroughly enjoyed it. Met lots of old faces and some new ones, which is always the joy of these places. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, you've been sort of acting for over 30 years, so could you tell us where that all started for you?
It started when I left university. Actually, I mean, I was in university up in Liverpool, and in fact, I spent most of my time playing in a soul band in the Cavern and places like that. I was going to be, I was thinking of being a muso, but being a very lazy sod, I thought, no, it's far too hard work. I'll be an actor instead. There's more days off. So, 68, I started becoming an actor and started working in children's theatre, then repertory theatre, then radio and television, and it's gone on from there. Fantastic.
Well, so yeah, tell us a little bit about your time in Doctor Who.
Doctor Who's fantastic. I mean, I'd watched Doctor Who in the early days of Hartnell and Troughton, you know, back in the 60s, early 60s when it started, and then kind of drifted away from it. And I'd done a series down at TVS called Radio Phoenix, which was set in a commercial radio station, and I played this sort of twit of a DJ. It was at a cross between Tony Blackburn and Mike Reed, and I used to do all these silly voices. Now the director on that was a director called Matthew Robinson, and about a month or so after we'd finished this long series, he rang me up and said, do you know anything about Doctor Who? I said, yeah, I used to watch Doctor Who. You know, he said, do you know the Daleks? I said, yeah, I know all about Daleks, you know. He said, no, what about Davros? I said, no, sorry, that's gone past me, because I'd stopped listening or watching at that time. And he said, well, come down to London, have a look at these tapes. And what had happened, he'd taken over the next episode of Doctor Who, which was called Resurrection of the Daleks. Now, Michael Wisher had created the character of Davros in the time of Tom Baker. Peter Davison was now the Doctor, and Michael Wisher wasn't available. So Matthew, having worked with me, knew I could possibly do this. He said, you know, this is what we need to do. We want to try and recreate this character. Would you be interested? And, you know, like any actor worth his salt, he said, I said, yeah, sure, I would, yeah. And yeah, that's how it came about. And I just thought it was just a one-off, you know, sort of a couple of weeks' work, you know, back in 1963, I think it was, 1983. But no, they called me back to do Revelation when Colin Baker came into it, and then also Remembrance when Sylvester McCoy was the Doctor. And then obviously it all died, but I've carried on doing it since then with Big Finish audios, because we've done a lot of those. So in fact, I've played Davros on audio, television and stage now probably about 16 times over the years, and it's sort of kind of become part of my psyche. Well, one part of my psyche anyway.
Let's not hope too much.
No,
he's quite off the wall, so...
He is a bit, yeah, I mean, well, no, I like Davros. I think he's a misunderstood character. You know, everyone thinks he's, you know, out to destroy the universe, but, you know, he's out there, you know, thinking he's doing good. But, I mean, interesting, that is the interesting thing about evil, inverted commas, characters. Nobody is born evil. They do things that other people judge as being evil. Now, as far as Davros is concerned, he was doing good. I mean, certainly in Revelation, you know, he was feeding the universe that was starving. You know, the fact that he was feeding them dead bodies, to him wasn't a problem because they were dead. But everyone else thought, whoa, no, you're feeding him our relatives, you know. So that's where the evil part came in. But no, he's a nice guy, Davros, really, you know.
Well, you were the third incarnation of Davros,
yep,
as I understand it. So when you approached the role, did you take anything from your predecessors, or...?
I went, obviously, back to the original Michael Wisher tapes, because for me, most of my career has been in radio and on audio, and I'm so used to creating characters with my voice and painting that picture, which, as everyone knows who listens to radio, the pictures are so much better than they are on film or television because they're in your head. So you're creating a character vocally which projects to the person who's listening. Now, looking at Davros, I thought, well, so much of the character has to be in the voice, because in those days we had masks that were really, you know, immobile. They're not like the prosthetics I have nowadays. You were having to work really hard behind this sort of foam rubber mask. And doing that and watching what Michael Wisher was doing, I said, I thought, well, yeah, that's informing how the character has to be played, because you actually have to work very hard. So it's making you talk in a particular way, and then you start to bring the voice down and bring a bit of psychosis into it, and before you know where you are, Davros has appeared.
Wow. But I'm sure you're aware that at the end of season 4 of the recent Doctor Who, they brought back Davros.
They did. Yeah.
What do you think of the sort of new take on Julian Breach? Well, it's Julian Breach who played Davros.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I didn't actually see it till about 2 years after it came out. I was actually up on the North Pole when it came out. Yeah, I mean, they did come to me, you know, at some point and say, look, we're going to do this, you know. They decided to do it, and I think they were probably a bit worried that I was going to throw a wobbly about it, but I said, well, hey, it's not my character. I mean, I took it over from somebody else. It's up to you. You want to give it to somebody else again. It was interesting. When I did see it, I thought, I mean, I suppose my main reaction was that I think they wasted the character in the story that they did. It was such a big story with so many threads and strands to it that Davros was almost an adjunct, and I didn't understand why they'd actually decided to bring him in at that particular point, because Davros is such an iconic character. He's got a particular stillness and a particular relationship with the Doctor, which actually almost demands a story on its own. But it was woven into a whole tranche of other things, with bringing back all the companions and all the people who had been in 4 series, that I think it lost some of the power that it could have had they done it probably slightly better or thought about it more deeply. I mean, Julian, you know, I don't know. I mean, I leave it up to the fans to judge how they saw the character, because I'm rubbish at judging how I do things most of the time, and 9 times out of 10 I don't watch or listen to myself because I hate it, you know. But so it's up to them, you know, to decide. Do
you think they'll bring him back?
I don't know. I mean, that really is up to them. I mean, all I know is that when they did bring him into the 4th series, we've been doing Big Finish audios, and in fact we did a 4-part mini-series called I, Davros, which, a bit like I, Claudius, traced Davros's journey from a 15-year-old boy up to the point where he creates the very first Dalek. And that was like setting down the canon of who Davros was and where he'd come from. When they brought Davros back into the new series, Big Finish were told they cannot use Davros in any of the audios, so we weren't allowed to use Davros, and I'd done about 10, I suppose, by that time. So we weren't allowed to, but just recently Colin and I have recorded a new Davros story with the Doctor called The Curse of Davros, which is set at the Battle of Waterloo. So one assumes that if Cardiff are saying, look, you have him back, they're not planning to bring him back into the series. That's the only way I can guess it.
Well, apart from Big Finish, is there anything else that you're working on at the moment?
I'm continuing to work, as I have done for the last 40 years, on The Archers.
Oh, of course.
So I play Mike Tucker, the milkman from Hell, on The Archers, and that carries on. It's a relentless story of country folk, which keeps going. And I do a lot of audio stuff, and we brought out a new series now called The Scary Fires, which has been done by Cosmic Hobo Productions. And this initially was with Nick Courtney, who played the Brigadier in Doctor Who. Now, it's nothing to do with Doctor Who. It's actually, I can best describe it as Dick Barton meets the X-Files. It's set in the 1930s, and it's around an octogenarian copper, played by Nick, who goes out hitting people, and I play a sort of a ghost story writer called Edward Dunning, and they become MI13, and they solve very bad paranormal problems, and it's very tongue-in-cheek, very lantern jaw, and very jolly acting. And sadly, last year Nick died, so we had to make the decision: do we carry on or do we close the series there? Up to that point we'd done 6 episodes, but we decided to carry on, and we brought David Warner in. So David Warner has taken over, not the same character, but a compatriot of Lionheart's. And we did one last year called The Magic Circle, in which Lionheart actually dies, and we find him dead in it. It was a very moving piece, and a real tribute to Nick. He was a fantastic actor. So we're now carrying it on, and we've done another one, which is just due to come out, called The Legend of Loch Ness, which again, I think it must be a curse on the Scary Fires, but sadly that has the very last performance of Philip Maddock, who again died not long ago, so I think we're all getting older. I'll probably be the next one to go.
Well, it all sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
We look forward to hearing and seeing everything that you've been working on. Well, that's all we've got time for today. Thank you so much, Terry, for speaking to us.
Thank you, Crystal.
And we'll probably see you again very soon.
I hope so.
Thank you.